listening to Bras, Panties and Sports. The Super Bowl is over. That's right. It's over. We know who won. We saw the highs and the lows and the in between. So, I'm Spitface. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Yeah, the Super Bowl is over. So for all those that love football, gotta wait until next season.
Yeah, but First Lady, there is always some drama, and you know, we're gonna talk about the Super Bowl, and a lot has been said this week already. So, but we got our little recap, so we're gonna throw in our recap, some thoughts that we've had since the game. But First Lady, on the wire, breaking news, and this is breaking news. President Donald Trump pardoned 5 former NFL players on Thursday night. That's right.
Oh, okay.
President Donald Trump pardoned 5 former NFL players. White House pardon czar Alice Mary Johnson announced the pardons in a post on social media. Joe Klecko, Nate Newton, Jamal Lewis, Travis Henry, and the late Billy Cannon were granted clemency. As football reminds us, excellence is built on grit, grace, and the courage to rise again. So is our nation, Johnson wrote in a post on X. Breaking news, you heard it here. You know, and now there are many amongst us who I'll just say I probably like, who were those people? You know, and because it's been a while since you've actually heard those names, but I'm just going to say Google them. Now, since it is breaking, I can't really say if I have it that any of them deserved or didn't deserve a part, you know. So, cause, you know, I don't know what kind of community stuff they doing or deal with. I think Joe Klecko passed away, didn't it? Well, no,
Joe Klecko is dead. Yeah, deceased. I remember Jamal, what's his name? Jamal Adams?
Yeah.
Lewis. Was it Jamal Adams or Lewis? Jamal Lewis, yeah. No. I think once he was a drug or something. Jamal Lewis.
He got in trouble. Like I said, he did something to get. But you know, I will say that forgiveness is a good thing. It is a good thing. But unfortunately, you know, when it comes from President Donald Trump, you look for the catch. But we had that on another show. Now, okay, First Lady. This week on Shout Out, we have performances from Devo. Not to be confused with Devo. When he find his shot, his star, get the cold, feel the mute button, First Lady. We're ready. What you say?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world, not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle. See, fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the Seattle Seahawks are flapping their wings after an impressive victory against the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60. The Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker won the MVP, but was it really a case of the Seattle defense being the dark shadow? Everyone was concerned about Sam Darnold seeing ghosts Looked like Drake May was seeing ghosts, demons, poltergeists, and the boogeyman. Not to mention horrible play calling by the offensive coordinator. Is Kenneth Walker about to get paid, or will he need to go elsewhere to get a fat deal? George Foreman, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, both rest in peace. Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Yeah, well, I mean, come on, it's Spitface. Everybody knows that the Seattle's defense was the reason they won the Super Bowl. I mean, we don't need to sugarcoat it or whatever. We know it was the defense. However, we'll say that the Seattle played complimentary football because the defense definitely did their job. And Sam Darnold and the offense, and particularly Kenneth Walker, did their jobs. And finally, the special team was superior, especially that kicker, Jason Myers. He did his job. Darnold wasn't spectacular, but he didn't commit any turnovers. This was the key. To me, it seemed like the Patriots were really waiting for Darnold to make a mistake. Instead of them trying to score or do better on their offense, they was waiting for him to make a mistake. He was able to be very elusive. Several times they thought he was going to be caught in the backfield, but no, he was able to get out, make passes. He did not commit one turnover. And Ken Walker, I mean, he ran for 135 yards, which really dominated the time of possession for the Seahawks. And finally, Jason Myers, he kicked 5 field goals, the most in Super Bowl history. He scored 15 points. Actually, he scored 17 because he had 2 extra points. So, I mean, you could easily say that he could have been the most valuable player also, but they rarely give it to a kicker. And the Seahawks, I mean, what can you say about the Seahawks defense? I mean, they really just stifled Drake May, particularly in the first half and the third quarter. In the first half of the game, the Patriots only had 4 first downs and only mustered up 51 total yards. I mean, and then it got worse. It got worse when they got to the third quarter, because the third quarter, they were only able to get 1 first down and only 25 yards. I mean, that was a master class on defense by the Seahawks. And, you know, needless to say, Drake May was the quarterback seeing ghosts, demons, etc. He saw the front 4 of the Seahawks consistently in his face. That was some of the problems. And Drake May, he had problems reading the defense properly. He held on the ball way too long. You know, not going with that first option. Very hesitant. That was some of his problems of not reading the defense. And furthermore, I mean, what can you say? Josh McDaniels provided the worst play calling. I mean, he didn't make any adjustments after the first half of the third quarter. I mean, he should have made those adjustments. He waited until the fourth quarter to come up with a more spread offense, which made it a little bit difficult for the front 4 to sack Drake May. But that was just a little bit too late. McDaniels didn't run any plays with Drake using his legs. They could have run more of those type of plays. They rarely ran screen passes. I mean, if you know that's a darn good offensive line, and particularly the left side, you had 2 rookies starting, they needed to put Drake May more in a shotgun formation to give him some extra time. They didn't even do that. I mean, I didn't understand what was going on. You know, instead of having him under center for the first two plays of the down, first and second down, they should have put him in the shotgun for the first down and see what would have, happened. Just make some changes. So McDaniels was very stubborn in what he was doing, very stubborn. His game plan was horrible. And will Kenneth Walker get paid? He just completed his rookie contract. He wasn't previously extended because that seems to be the norm now for running backs, because he is a free agent in February. Teams take a wait and see attitude now with running backs. That it's a position that has been devalued over the years all of a sudden. But I can see him getting paid. I mean, he can get an increase from into a double-digit contract. Basically, he was averaging $2 million annually, so that can go up to $8 to $10 million. The bottom line, if the Seahawks don't pay him, another team will pay him, so he's definitely going to get paid. So, I mean, you don't have to worry about him. He will definitely get paid. All right, Spitface, what you saying about this?
Well, I do want to say in defense of the offensive coordinator and play caller for the New England Patriots. Maybe the horrible play caller was a sign of what he really had to work with. So I don't know, but it really. I'll say that the defensive show that the Seattle Seahawks put on. I'll say the score just does not reflect how much of a whooping, that the Patriots really took. If you look at 5 field goals, well, if half of those if 2 of those field goals had ended up being touchdowns, the game would have been it would have been one of the most lopsided victories in Super Bowl history. If three, that would have been add 21 points to it. It would have been just totally lopsided. So the Patriots, kudos to the Patriots defense for being able to keep the Seahawks from converting those field goals into touchdowns. So kudos to because your offense was already your offense was outgunned and outcoached. So that's kind of how that went. They were outgunned and they were outcoached. So to keep the Seahawks from those field goals ended up being touchdowns, that in itself was remarkable. And so it might be easy to overlook the great job that the Patriots defense really did. And Sam Darnold, there are times when you just go with the flow, and that Kenneth Walker was Kenneth Walker was burning up that clock as he was running, with abandon down the field, and I don't know where you got your slipperiness from. But I'm like, Sam Donald, sliding to left, sliding to doing a little dip over there, looking like a Lamar Jackson or something. You get. I'm going, where this at? Where did they put in your breakfast cereal? Because you was showing some stuff I ain't seen from you, Sam. Now, and then come trying to throw some stuff in the tight windows and stuff, trying to look all Joe Montana like. So, but you already getting paid. All right. Well, First Lady, running backs aren't getting ridiculous money. So Kenneth Walker will be a Seahawk. He'll be a Seahawk. That's what I'm saying, First Lady.
Okay, well, we'll see, because, like I said, he's going to demand a lot of money. He is going to get paid. And, you remember they have the other, running back what's his name? Sean? I can't even think of his last name right now, but he was, injured. So they always got a backup. So we'll see if Kenneth Walker get paid. But, kudos. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. All right, Spitface, over to you.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear. making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom, explosion, overpowered over the competition. I'm tired. Reconcile when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We are talking about the knockout punch to the All-American halftime show, headlined by the one and only Kid Rock. By NFL halftime show featuring Bad Bunny and a performance about unity. Bad Bunny does a show about heritage, community, love, and being an American. Yes, those born in Puerto Rico are U.S. citizens, and that is not a new phenomenon. You know, that it just, when did they start that? No, it has been that way. Now, you know, yeah, Kid Rock, you know, has these lyrics from one of his songs, Cool Daddy Cool. Young ladies, I like them underage. See, some say that's statutory, but I say that's mandatory. Now, that kind of sounds like Kid Rock might be in the Epstein files. You know, I'm just saying. Was the only thing American about the All-American halftime show ignorance and indifference by a few that just want America to be white. Tis. Leroy Satchel Page, Walter Buck Leonard, and James Cool Papa Bell are asking what you say. First Lady, I could not understand. Because I do not speak Spanish, and I didn't have one of the little. I couldn't find the translate button, you know, so that it would convert it on the little scroll and stuff. I didn't know how to do that. And I had nobody around to show me, so I just went with what I heard. Now, since I don't know Spanish, I couldn't tell what they were saying, but I could connect. You know, I was feeling the groove. I was like, yeah. And then the imagery, that was some beautiful imagery. I mean, made me want to go get a drink at an island somewhere. I was like, now, this is great. Now, in fairness, I just say, you know, you got the top, you know, streaming artists in the world. You know, the top, you know, and on the other hand, you got Kid Rock. Now, they ain't nowhere in the same, I won't say the league, they ain't even in the same solar system. You know, and I'm going to say this, and this is no slight to LL Cool J, my man. All right, LL, you know. But I'm going to say this. Mama said, knock you out. Mama said, knock you out. You know, it would have been a fair fight, a fair competition if it had been Kid Rock versus LL Cool J. The only thing there would have been at least LL is in the same age group, you know. So, but talent, you know, like I said, so we go take the guy whose lyrics are underage. See, some say that's statutory, but I say that's mandatory. So I just want to, you know, I'm just, for those whose head exploded because Bad Bunny had the audacity to represent the people of Puerto Rico who are U.S. citizens in a positive way. Come on now. Come on. I think your racism might be bleeding through. First Lady, what you say?
Well, to be honest with you, I did not understand what Charlie Kirk's Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica Kirk, is now the CEO of her deceased husband's organization, Turning Point USA, and they're the ones that sponsor that All-American alternative concert to the Super Bowl. I'm not sure why she chose Kid Rock, you know, knowing Well, maybe she didn't know. I mean, maybe she should have vetted him, because them lyrics that he's, in that song are very damaging. Like you said, it's considering the issues that's going on with Jeffrey Epstein and underage children, I don't think it was a good idea to use Kid Rock. I mean, they could have chosen some other all-American person to get up there and sing. Somebody, there's several people that in the music industry from the Western that, probably would have done it. Kid Rock was not the choice, I mean, maybe he stands for conservatives, being conservative and everything, but that's not being conservative with them darn lyrics. That's for sure. So that was a bad choice on their part and her part. And I'm quite sure that several of them, they still watch the Bad Bunny halftime show because, they probably wanted to see what it was all about. And like you said, Spitface, I didn't understand a word he was saying, but like you said, the imagery, the display was amazing. He brought Puerto Rico to the Super Bowl. And his show actually was very symbolic. I didn't know at the time when I was watching it, but obviously after he performed, and the internet was abuzz, and when people were, there's several people that interpreted his halftime show, and it was very symbolic. The actual wedding that took place in on the Super Bowl, was part of his halftime performance, was actually a real wedding. Did not know that. Somebody told me that. Then it was all over the internet. What happened was the couple had requested Bad Bunny to perform at their wedding, and, he said he couldn't do it. But what he did, he got his people to talk to her, to them, and he said, have the wedding at the Super Bowl. So that's why he brought them there, and he was actually the witness to their wedding. So that was very interesting that, that was true. And another thing that was very symbolic, I don't know if you remember when they had the men in the electric poles, going up the electric poles. For some reason, there's an issue in Puerto Rico with electric grids that the government there is not taking care of. And what happens is many of the residents take it upon themselves to repair the electric poles, which is, interesting. That's the reason why he had that part of his performance. And, at the end, he talked about America. He emphasized that America includes all countries, so that's why he had all the flags of the different countries within North America. So, I give credit to Bad Bunny for the halftime performance. I mean, like I said, we didn't understand a word he was saying. Matter of fact, I had spoken to a couple of Spanish people. They told me they didn't know what he was saying. But, there's always different dialects in Spanish, so not all Spanish people understand Spanish people. Yeah, all, the Cubans, though, Cubans, I live in South Florida, so there's more Cubans here. They speak a different dialect, so, they don't always understand everybody. So, but I give him credit for his halftime performance. It would have been nice for the NFL to provide some type of closed caption across the screen, knowing that he was going to sing in Spanish. They knew them songs, what he was saying. They could have gotten the lyrics to them songs. I mean, it may not have been exact what he was saying, but they could have had a translate. They translate for the deaf. They needed to translate for people who spoke English. That's what they needed to do. But anyway, it was all good. I mean, I'm not going to criticize the NFL in that. I'm not going to criticize them for doing that. I mean, literally, I actually sat and watched a movie that was in Chinese, the whole movie, and of course, I was reading in closed caption, but I actually saw the movie, so I mean, they could have put it in closed caption. That's what I was saying. They could have done that. But anyway, it was good. I give him credit. I'm quite sure they were happy. The Latinos were very happy because he was proud of being Puerto Rican. And he, just like I said, he brought Puerto Rico to everybody. So anyway, kudos to him on that. That's all I'm saying.
All right. All right. Yo, there are many ways to get a point across. There are many ways. Now, First Lady, you have the last word. Please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, we have a performance from Devo on Shout Out Part 1.
Oh, we not getting a Bad Bunny track. Welcome back. The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Devo.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If you like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. We are featuring music from Devo and his hit album, The Cotex. They say Devo has a basis for everything in his music, the sole purpose of showing the world that God is the answer to all things. Amen to that. All right, DJ, let's hear a track, Destined for Greatness.
Looking in the eyes of destiny, stepping up within, mindset to accomplish, I'm dialing up to astonish the grace of our King. Stay focusing, ain't no one putting more work than me. Running a point with my team, visions on me. The mix with handles, my no look is savage, understanding what it means. Leading a team with Devo on point. Our victory is by the look in your eyes. Ahead of your time. You're driven to shine. Look like you're destined for greatness. Break 'em on down. Tripping if you thought that you had a chance with the team that I'm with. I represent. With my first step, I Euro and dish is the mission to blame. Still giving praise. This is the core vision. Codex that opened up. Call victory.
I've been real as it gets. Always been viewed and judged as a threat. Coming with style and flow to connect the time when the world is wondering what's next. Hustling the body, selling for less. Let all them naysayers to rest. Serve for the King Almighty, I'ma put it down. Say the grace, I laid it down. Serving to the finish, visionary with it. Destiny go get it, got my mind all in it. Destiny go get it, I got to stay with it. Destiny go get it, got my mind all in it. Mind stay driven, destiny go get it. Destiny go get it, got the squad all in it. Grinding to the finish, destiny go get it. Destiny go get it, greatness is how I'm living. Serving to the finish, visionary vision. You're destined for greatness.
Ahead of your time.
You're destined for greatness.
You're driven to shine.
You're destined for greatness.
Look like you're destined for greatness.
Okay, that was Devo. All right, Spitface, I'm gonna start with you. You're gonna hit the mute button, or you're gonna shout it out?
I'm shouting it out. I thought it was pretty smooth. I thought it was interesting that he really kind of mixed in that slow syrup music, you know, but it was kind of, but the flow, it was really good. And it was one of those tracks where I'd say get your cup of coffee or your cup of tea, and if you got some things on your mind and you just kind of want to, you know, step away and kind of calm yourself down and, you know, just kind of let the mind settle and clear. I liked it. It kind of forces you to listen to it. So it's not in your face. It's not in your face. And, you know, with that slow kind of syrup music, it just kind of has you like, you know, just kind of chill. So I'm giving it a shout out.
Okay, yeah, my shout out. You're right. It was a slow metal. His voice is very monotone, like you said, very slow. But it was good. I give him credit for that. The voice sounded nice. The song in itself, the lyrics were pretty decent. So, yeah, I'm going to shout it out, Spitface. So, anyway, we'll see what Mr. Devo has in store for us on the second half of the shout-out part 2. Is it time for our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
Time for Flip It, where our hosts defend the view and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. The NBA trade deadline is passed and it's off to the races. We wonder, will LeBron hang up the sneakers at the end of the season? So we're going to defend. LeBron has a lot of mileage on those wheels. He will hang it up. You know, First Lady, every year, and it's starting to be like with Tom Brady. Okay, will he fall off the cliff? Is this the year? And he pretty much did it his way. You know, he did, you know, eventually, you know, hang it up, but he was competitive to the end. Like, even though he had some drop off, he was still kind of smoking a whole bunch of other quarterbacks. So LeBron can still play, but he's been playing. Well, he's been playing since he was a kid, but he's been playing professionally since he was a teenager. Amazing body, but there's a lot where he's not willing a team to victory. Them days is gone. The days where he could just take over and will the team to victory, that ain't happening no more. And the Lakers, as an organization, are doing the best they can because they got him under contract and he's gonna get his money. But at the end of this season, realizing that he is not going to be the man anymore, he's gonna hang it up. He's gonna hang it up and call it a career. First Lady defends. LeBron retires at the end of the season.
Well, LeBron is in his final year of his contract. And this contract was the first time that he actually took the option. He exercised the option of his player option on this contract. He's never done that before because he's always renewed his contract. When it was that final year, he would extend it, the team would extend it, whatever. But he exercised his player option. That's because the Lakers are moving on from LeBron. They want to build around Luka. This is Luka's team now. So because of that, like you indicated, when he's not going to be that person who is the main focus on a team, he's going to hang it up. He's probably going to retire. And the question is, does he want to go elsewhere and play? And the answer probably is no. He's made a home with his family in Los Angeles. That's why he moved to Los Angeles with the Lakers, because, he has other goals. He has a production company. He's done some movies and things, and he wants to continue doing that. So he definitely is not going to play again because he's going to be 42 years old by next season. He's 41 now. He turns 42 in December. So going into that 24th season, he's going to be 42 years old. And wherever he goes, he's not going to make the money that he's making now. So, yeah, you think LeBron wants to take a cut and pay, but who's going to pay LeBron the current salary he's making? Anybody in their right mind, a team in their right mind, would not pay no 42-year-old person that amount of money. So, yeah, he is definitely going to retire. It's not worth it for him to stay around for another time. It just isn't right. He's done everything that he's possibly done. He's broken most records because of his longevity. So what more does he need to prove? LeBron doesn't need to prove anything anymore. So, yeah, go quietly. Go out quietly. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to retire.
Okay, First Lady, this is Flip It, so we had to flip the script and defend the opposing view. So if the Lakers are contenders, he wants one more shot at a ring. So, First Lady, the Lakers this year are, they're in the mix. They're in the mix. They're not hanging outside the mix, struggling to get into the play-in. They're in the mix. They could end up being having the fourth, maybe third seed, how things are going. And if LeBron sees that even with these changes, I can still contribute at a high level, and I don't have to have the pressure of being the man anymore, but I can be the man in the middle and just add that extra. Oh, yeah, where's that? Oh, yeah, I can still play out here. Well, I'm still a threat. Well, teams gonna have to work with that. Like, hey, look, no, he ain't the man no more, but he is a threat. So we got to contend. And if he can get one more shot at the ring, that's a strong enticement. I done made the money. I have rings. I have championships. But I would love to have that one more as I go out the door. That's right. That win for that one last win for the king as I go out the door and I drop the mic, I drop the sneakers. So if they contend and he sees that, hey, look, we were right there. We were, right there. We didn't get blew out first round, whatever. We was on a great trajectory, and he gonna want to be a part of that. And it's not the money, which is a good thing for the Lakers because, like I said, they ain't gonna spend mega bucks for LeBron. But LeBron don't need like mega bucks. Not from basketball. This is all about how I go out the door. And I want to go out the door with one more ring. First Lady defend. If there's a shot at contending, he wants one more shot.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, most definitely, if LeBron has a shot at contending. Now, I don't know if it's going to be with the Lakers, but, you know, if the Lakers are going to re-up him for obviously a major significant cut in pay. And like you said, the money isn't going to be everything. He always about wanting to win and contend and have a chance to win another ring. He's only won, 4 rings? Let's see, he won 2 with the Heat, 1 with the Cavs, and 1 with the Lakers. So he really covets that 5th ring because, Kobe had 5 rings. Michael Jordan had 6. So, he's always trying to compare himself to those people in the league. So, and it always comes down to championships. And so, therefore, he does want another ring. And the one thing about LeBron, I think it's not negative, but he's very self-indulgent. So he's going to want a farewell tour. Okay. So when he leaves, he will announce to everybody, this is going to be my last year. And he hasn't done that. Because, he wants to have that farewell tour. Kobe didn't do his farewell tour because Kobe announced he was retiring middle of the season. Because I remember he came to Miami and didn't play. And it wasn't until after that he announced that this was going to be his last season. LeBron is going to do it in the beginning of the season. He's going to let everyone know that he's going to retire. And he hasn't done that. So that's why he is going to do it for the upcoming season. And that will be his last season. And, he likes now. He's going to have to play a little bit longer if he wants to get the record of the oldest player playing in the NBA. Kevin Willis said that he was 44 years old when he finally retired, and Robert Parrish was 43. Vince Carter played till he was 43, and his old teammate Udonis Haslem played till he was 42 years old, 304 days. So we'll see. LeBron will definitely play one more season, and he get that farewell tour where people give him gifts and everything. So something similar to what Kobe and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did. So, yeah, he's definitely going to retire after next year. But he definitely has one more year left in the tank.
One more year left in the tank. All right, First Lady, over to you for more Flip It.
The Houston Rockets currently hold the 4th spot in the West. Can they hold on to that position until the playoffs? Spitface defend. The Rockets hold a tiny 2-game lead with the Timberwolves and the Lakers breathing down their neck. They will slip. Defend.
First Lady, I hate to say it, but it is just so competitive in the West that you have a 1 or 2 game, you have a 2-game losing streak. Then you go from the number 4 spot darn near down to the number 7 spot. It's just that slippery. And the Rockets are a much better team than they were last year. And last year they were a good team. So they're competitive. They can be in the mix, but it's pressure. And pressure can bust the pipe. And right now, the way the Timberwolves and the Lakers are prepared to make their move up, and then some of the other ones, I could definitely see them, that little tiny 2-game lead, end up getting them all the way down to number 6. And right now, they're not dominating enough at number 4 where they can, let's say, keep them at bay. Now, it can go either way, but more than likely, as tight as it is, they're going to be, again, not being able to be that dominant team where they're really trying to move up. Well, I know they're trying, but being able to move up to the number 3, number 2 position. It's either locked in at 4 or you're going to drop down to possibly 6. And with things being that tight, I don't see them keeping their head above water. That's what I'm saying, First Lady.
All right. They can't keep their head above water. Well, know, the sad thing about the Rockets, I really expected the Rockets to compete with OKC. I did not expect them to be in fourth position. I expected them to be in number 2 position. Unfortunately for them, it was the other Texas team that's in the number 2 position, and that's the San Antonio Spurs. They have actually been playing much better than the Houston Rockets. And the Houston Rockets, I mean, there's some issues with this team. They've dropped a lot of winnable games, especially it's amazing that they lose a lot of their games in the fourth quarter. And the reason why, because that offense of theirs is so heavily ISO ball. There's no ball movement. Similar to what people in New York say about the Knicks when Brunson tries to go ISO ball, because, when you have ISO ball, it just doesn't work in the NBA anymore because teams are able to scheme on players, and that's what happens to the Houston Rockets. They have lack of spacing, lack of shooting. They definitely have Kevin Durant, but they just need to get the other players to play better. So the thing is, you have the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they had a bad stretch there themselves. They had lost several games in a row, but they just recently won, and I think they feel like that they've overcome some of their problems that they have. And, so the Timberwolves could definitely creep up on them. The Lakers, well, the Lakers had injuries. A lot of, Luka is out. I forgot their other their guard name. He's back. And LeBron is going, LeBron just had a triple-double the other night. So, he's still on target and on fire. He can still play. So there's teams, the Timberwolves and Lakers, they're right down their backs. And the thing is with the Rockets, they just seem to be very inconsistent. They'll win a couple, then they'll lose 3 in a row. I mean, they're very inconsistent. This team should not be where they are. So considering the fact that they have not resolved any of their problems with, like I said, with the long distance shooting, to space the floors and to stay away from that ISO ball, I can see that they will slip and lose that 4th spot. And I'm not going to say it's going to be from the Lakers. I really think it's going to be from the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves have not played well also this season, but they're coming and they will be there at the end. So they definitely will lose that spot. All right. So let's flip it. The Rockets have a player known for showing up when it's crunch time and the playoffs. Spitface defend. The Rockets have a lock on the 4th spot. Defend.
First lady, I won't say the Rockets have a secret weapon. They have a not so secret weapon who happens to have a couple of championship rings called Kevin Durant. And he brings the veteran leadership that they actually need. Now, Kevin Durant has not been accused of being the leader. But on the Rockets, he is the guy that's bringing the spirit that's showing some of the younger guys how to play. And he can't do it by himself. But when you lead him by example, others start buying in. Now, the coaches need to make some adjustments to like you said, to cut out the ISO ball, they work and all of that. And if they can if they can tighten up in just a few areas and again allow Kevin Durant's leadership to keep the team motivated about what's possible, they got a lock on the 4th spot and may be able to move up to number 3. Now, the Rockets, you're right, that other Texas team with Wemby, Wemby a bad mojo. It's just, hey, the the guy is doing stuff, and his team is winning. And it's going to be some heavy competition. But the Rockets can lock in. They can stay locked in that fourth position. And given the pressure and given what the Lakers and Timberwolves are up to, kind of get seasoned so that when they go in the playoffs, they got a shot. But they got a lock on that fourth spot. That's what I'm saying, First Lady.
All right. You said they got a shot and they're going to be locked in on the fourth spot. Yeah, they are going to be locked in on the fourth spot because I don't see them moving up. You know, like I said, you got the Spurs and you got the Nuggets ahead of them. And I just don't see them moving up ahead of those teams. But they can hold on to that fourth spot. And some of the reason is they got a favorable schedule. They got one of the easiest remaining schedule. They got more home games than away to finish the season, so that's one good thing. Despite sometimes their offense getting bogged down, because, you know, they do have Kevin Durant. You know, Kevin Durant is that superstar. He is their major off-season acquisition, and, you know, he can provide that punch, you know, with the young core that he has. Sengun and Amin Thompson. But, you know, the thing is with Kevin Durant, you know, he provides that go-to scoring when they need to go to him. And they play, and the other thing, though, they still play great defense. You know, Ime Udoka, he's always built an identity of defensive ferocity. He is that type of defensive coach. And he was a defensive player, too, when he played. And that's what he builds his teams around. And the Rockets have played great defense. It's just, like I said, sometimes their offense gets a little bogged down. So they will maintain that fourth spot. I definitely don't see the Lakers moving up. The Lakers are a good team. They'll be in the playoffs, but I just don't see them moving forward. The only team I would be concerned about is the Timberwolves. And, but I still think the, Rockets can hang on to that spot. And we'll see, you know, they should be able to do it. I don't think Ime Udoka is going to let them fall into the fifth or sixth spot, but we'll see. That's you know, like I said, Kevin Durant, what they call him. I'm Kevin freaking Durant. That's what they call him. He got to be the man for Houston to hold on to that spot. All right, Spitface, please take us to break.
First Lady, and given that the Rockets have Kevin Durant instead of James Harden, Kevin Durant shows up in the playoffs. He doesn't disappear. Okay, on the other side of the break, we have another performance from Devo on Shout Out Part 2. Please, please, please keep your ears glued to those speakers.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right, on the second part of Shout Out, we are featuring another track from Devo, and this track is Saturating Raindrops. So, DJ, please roll it.
Endlessly, me and my man on B&V, driven a little place up in the clouds, just like it's you and me. My love for you, it won't stop. I know I'm always showing out, looking in the face of what love is really all about. I die for you and still come through. I ride with you and still with you. Lead you to a place that we can, I don't get accustomed to. I promise that I won't stop. Saturating raindrops, call it grace and call it shine.
I'm showing up with care is order, make you smile. And knowing that I only want to make you proud. It's all in the air, no need to dream. Depend on me. I promise there's a future for us, just believe. Depend on me.
I sprinkle dust up endlessly, and my man OB&V. Dripping a little place up in the clouds, just like you shoot with me. My love for you is won't stop. I know I'm always sharing out. Looking in the face of what love is really all about. I die for you and still come through. I ride with you and still beat you. Lead you to a place we can all get accustomed to. I promise that I won't stop. Saturated raindrops, call it grace and call it shine.
Building with each other, most won't understand. Sharing enough for what you want, you hold my hand. It's all in the air, no need to dream. Depend on me. I promise there's a future for us, just believe. Depend on me.
Saturate raindrops. Saturate raindrops. Saturate raindrops. Saturate raindrops.
I sprinkle the dust up endlessly, and my man OB&V. Dripping a little place up in the clouds, just like you shoot with me. My love for you is won't stop. I know I'm always showing out. Looking in the face of what love is really all about. I die for you and still come through. I ride with you and still beat you. Lead you to a place we can all get accustomed to. I promise that I won't stop. Saturated raindrops, call it grace and call it shine. I sprinkle the dust up endlessly, and my man OB&V. Dripping a little place up in the clouds, just like you shoot with me. My love for you is won't stop. I know I'm always sharing out. Looking in the face of what love is really all about. I die for you and still come through. I ride with you and still beat you. Lead you to a place we can all get accustomed to. I promise that I won't stop. Saturated raindrops, call it grace and call it shine.
All right, that was Saturating. And First Lady, what's the verdict? Is Saturating getting the shout out or the mute button?
Okay, so I like Devo's voice. I'm going to shout it out. The only thing is, I really didn't like the background singers' voices. I think they didn't add too much to the song. But his voice is very good. I just when he was singing, it was fine. But when they went to the, I guess, the background singers, that wasn't that great. But I'm going to shout it out because of Devo. Devo's song, his voice is good, but he need to work on his background singers.
All right. Well, First Lady, I'm with you. Devo got a little something going on. So I'm giving him a shout out. The background, and I ain't hating on him or nothing, but whatever way they wrote the music. But overall, hey, Devo, you got two shout outs this week. That is the end of shout out for this week. You can check out Devo on the Old Grumpy Radio Network. If you would like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent@oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, over to you.
All right. Who will take home the title for the 2025-2026 NFL season? All right, so let's go over the results from Super Bowl weekend. Okay, I had a minus 250 million points. DizzieMac had a minus 50 million points. Kevy Cat had 250 million points. And Spitface, you are the new champion because you had 750 million points to bring that is to bring your total. Let me go over the final totals. That was just for the Super Bowl weekend picks. So the final totals is Spitface winning with 724.725 million points. Kevy Kev is 401 million points. DizzieMac had minus 45.250 million points. And I came in at rear at minus 128.275. So congrats, Spitface. Did you win last year or DizzieMac? I think DizzieMac won last year. Or did you win last year? I got to go back and look at that to see who won last year. But for some reason, I thought you won twice. Is this second time for you, back to back? Well, Dizzy, Spitface, you were so excited that you won that we don't hear from you. All right, I guess he.
Oh, my technology was stuck, and I was just so overwhelmed. I was just so overwhelmed, and but I will say that it has been a fun season.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah, because I was wondering if you. Let me see. I'm gonna go. I'll see if you won. Let's see who won. Spitface. This is back to back. You won last year. I thought you won last. I thought you won last year. So you are repeat. You are back to back.
I'm starting to feel like Tom Brady.
You are back to back. I mean, you were back to back. So that's great. You back to back. And we'll see. Next year we start all over again, and we'll go from there. All right. All right. It's time to decide. What is your top story to watch this week, Spitface?
The medal count for the U.S. women in the Winter Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Well, my top story to watch is we got the NBA All-Star Weekend, but the big story to really watch is what is Adam Silver going to talk about when he does his press conference for the season. You know, he does the press conference during the All-Star game, because he's already came down heavy on two teams regarding fines for tanking. So that is the big topic of discussion in the NBA All-Star Weekend is Adam Silver's press conference regarding when he's going to talk about tanking. So we're going to check that out. And I just want to give a little kudos to Lindsey Vonn. I mean, she tried. This woman had a torn ACL, and she still went out there skating. I'm not skating, doing the giant slalom, skiing. She still went out there skiing. And the thing is, she unfortunately crashed and broke her leg, but it really had nothing to do with the torn ACL. It was more, I think, what happened, her skis got caught on something, that when the trap door that opens up or something like that happened, got her off kilter. So anyway, kudos to her on that. All right, check out our current and previous episodes at BrasPantiesandSports.com. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you soon.